What if everything you've been told about staying healthy after 80 is actually holding you back? In this video, you'll discover 6 science-backed habits that defy conventional advice, but have been proven to keep seniors over 80 healthier, stronger, and more energetic than those following traditional rules. And one of these habits involves doing something your doctor probably warned you against, but research from Johns Hopkins reveals it might be the secret to living past 90 with exceptional health. Barbara, an 82-year-old from Portland, followed every health rule perfectly for years, avoiding salt, staying away from the sun, and eating only bland foods. Yet she felt weaker and more tired every month. When she finally started breaking some of these so-called rules based on new research, her energy doubled within weeks, and her doctor was amazed by her blood work improvements. Habit 1. Eat more salt than you've been told. For decades, you've been warned to drastically cut salt, but new research shows this might be dangerous after 80. The blanket advice to minimize sodium intake was designed primarily for middle-aged adults with specific cardiovascular concerns, not for seniors in their 80s who face entirely different physiological challenges. Your body's ability to regulate sodium changes dramatically as you age, and what seemed like sound advice at 50 can become harmful at 80. Research from Harvard Medical School shows that seniors over 80 with moderately higher sodium intake have better cognitive function and lower mortality rates than those on very low sodium diets. The study tracked over 2,600 seniors for 8 years and found that those consuming moderate amounts of salt maintained sharper mental clarity and experienced fewer dangerous episodes of confusion and disorientation. When your sodium levels drop too low, your brain doesn't receive the electrical signals it needs to function properly. Frank, an 84-year-old from Michigan, suffered constant dizziness and confusion on a strict low-salt diet his cardiologist had recommended years earlier. When his new doctor adjusted his sodium intake to moderate levels, his symptoms disappeared within days, and he could finally think clearly again. Excessively low sodium can lead to confusion, falls, dangerous electrolyte imbalances, and even increase your risk of bone fractures because your body starts pulling minerals from your skeleton to compensate. The irony is that in trying to protect your heart, extreme sodium restriction might be damaging your brain, bones, and overall stability. Add a moderate pinch of quality sea salt to your meals unless you have specific heart conditions requiring strict restriction. This doesn't mean drowning your food in salt or eating processed foods loaded with sodium. It means allowing yourself to enjoy properly seasoned home-cooked meals without the fear that's been drilled into you for decades. Talk to your doctor about your specific situation, but understand that blanket restrictions designed for younger populations might not serve your current needs. Your taste buds have likely dulled with age, making food less enjoyable, and a reasonable amount of salt can help you actually want to eat nutritious meals instead of picking at bland food that leaves you malnourished. Don't let outdated advice rob you of essential minerals your aging body desperately needs. The difference between dangerous restriction and healthy moderation could be the key to maintaining your independence and mental sharpness through your 80s and beyond. Habit 2. Stop forcing yourself to drink 8 glasses of water. Daily, the 8 glasses rule might actually be harming your kidneys and disrupting your sleep after 80. This arbitrary recommendation originated from a misinterpreted 1945 nutrition guide that included water from all sources, including food, yet it somehow morphed into a rigid mandate that has people forcing down glass after glass, regardless of actual thirst. Your kidneys at 80 don't function the same way they did at 40, and overwhelming them with excessive fluid can create serious problems. According to kidney specialists at the Mayo Clinic, forcing excessive water intake in seniors can lead to dangerous sodium dilution, a condition called hyponatremia that causes confusion, seizures, and even death in severe cases. They also warn that increased nighttime bathroom trips dramatically raise fall risks, which is one of the leading causes of injury and loss of independence in seniors. Helen, an 81-year-old from Arizona, was waking up 5 times nightly to urinate after forcing herself to drink 8 glasses daily, based on advice from a health magazine. When she switched to drinking only when thirsty and monitoring her hydration through urine color instead, she slept through the night again, and her energy improved dramatically. Overhydration stresses aging kidneys that are already working at reduced capacity and significantly increases your risk of dangerous nighttime falls that can lead to hip fractures and long hospital stays. Every time you get up at night, you're risking a stumble in the dark that could change your life forever. Drink when you're actually thirsty and check your urine color throughout the day, because pale yellow indicates perfect hydration. If your urine is dark amber, you need more fluids, but if it's nearly clear, you're drinking more than your body needs. Your thirst mechanism, unless you have a specific medical condition affecting it, is remarkably accurate at telling you when you need water. Stop watching the clock and start listening to your body's signals. Keep a glass of water nearby so you can sip when thirst hits, but don't force yourself to chug down predetermined amounts that leave you uncomfortable and running to the bathroom every hour. Stop this outdated rule tonight and reclaim your restful sleep immediately. The quality of your sleep affects everything from your mood to your immune system to your risk of falls during the day. Habit 3. Get more sun exposure. Yes. Really, while everyone tells you to avoid the sun completely, research shows moderate sun exposure after 80 could add years to your life. The fear of skin cancer has created a generation of seniors who are essentially living like vampires, hiding from the sun and suffering the consequences of severe vitamin D deficiency. While skin protection is important, complete sun avoidance has created a health crisis that's rarely discussed in mainstream medical advice. Studies from Stanford University reveal that seniors who get 20 to 30 minutes of daily sun exposure have significantly stronger bones, better mood regulation, enhanced immune function, and even lower rates of certain cancers compared to those who avoid sun completely. The research team followed over 4,000 seniors and found that those with adequate sun exposure had notably better physical and mental health outcomes across virtually every measure. Your body produces vitamin D when sunlight hits your skin, and this process becomes less efficient as you age, meaning you actually need more sun exposure now than you did when you were younger. Thomas, an 83-year-old from Seattle, stayed indoors constantly following his dermatologist's strict warning to avoid all sun exposure. He developed severe vitamin D deficiency and depression that no amount of supplements seemed to fix. After his new doctor recommended adding morning sun walks to his routine, his vitamin D levels normalized within 6 weeks, and his mood transformed so dramatically that his family said they finally had him back. Complete sun avoidance leads to dangerous vitamin D deficiency, significantly weaker bones that fracture easily, increased depression and anxiety, and a compromised immune system that leaves you vulnerable to infections and illness. Spend 20 minutes in morning or late afternoon sun, specifically before 10 a.m. or after 4 p.m., with your arms and legs exposed 3 to 4 times weekly. This timing gives you the vitamin D benefits without the harsh midday rays that cause skin damage. You don't need to sunbathe or sit motionless in direct sunlight. A morning walk, gardening session, or simply sitting on your porch with a book during these gentle sun hours provides exactly what your body needs. Wear sunscreen on your face if you're concerned about facial skin aging, but let your arms and legs soak up those beneficial rays. Your bones and mood need this natural medicine, so start tomorrow morning without delay. The sun is free, effective, and has been sustaining human health for millennia before we decided to hide from it completely. Habit 4. Skip breakfast if you're not hungry. Forcing yourself to eat breakfast when you're not hungry might be sabotaging your metabolism and longevity. The idea that breakfast is the most important meal of the day came from marketing campaigns by cereal companies in the early 1900s, not from scientific research about optimal eating patterns for seniors. Your body has natural hunger rhythms that change with age, and ignoring these signals to follow arbitrary meal schedules can cause more harm than good. Research from Johns Hopkins on intermittent fasting and eating patterns shows that seniors who eat according to genuine hunger signals rather than scheduled meal times have better insulin sensitivity, improved cellular repair processes, reduced inflammation, and potentially longer lifespans. The study found that allowing your body natural fasting periods between dinner and your first meal the next day activates powerful cellular cleanup processes called autophagy that become increasingly important as you age. Your digestive system needs rest just like the rest of your body, and constantly filling your stomach prevents essential repair and maintenance work from happening. Vivian, an 85-year-old from Florida, forced herself to eat a big breakfast every morning for years, despite never feeling hungry until late morning. She struggled with excess weight and constant digestive discomfort. When she finally started eating her first meal at 11 a.m., when natural hunger actually appeared, she lost 18 pounds over 6 months without any other changes. Her digestion improved dramatically, and she felt more energetic throughout the day. Eating when not hungry leads to unnecessary weight gain that stresses your joints and heart, insulin resistance that can progress to diabetes, digestive stress because your stomach isn't ready to process food, and disrupted natural metabolic rhythms that have evolved over millions of years. Eat your first meal when you genuinely feel hungry, even if that's at 10 a.m., 11 a.m., or even noon. This doesn't mean skipping nutrition or starving yourself throughout the day. It means honoring your body's actual signals instead of forcing food down, because the clock says it's breakfast time. If you wake up genuinely hungry, absolutely eat breakfast. But if you're only eating because you think you should, you're working against your body's wisdom. Make sure when you do eat that first meal, it's nutritious and satisfying, with adequate protein and healthy fats to sustain you until your next natural hunger signal. Listen to your body's wisdom starting tomorrow, because it knows better than the clock. Decades of living in your body have given you access to signals that no health guideline can override. Habit 5. Do less cardio and more strength training. That daily hour of walking might not be enough, and too much cardio without strength training could actually be weakening you. Walking is wonderful and should absolutely remain part of your routine, but it doesn't provide the specific stimulus your muscles and bones need to stay strong after 80. Cardiovascular exercise keeps your heart healthy and improves endurance, but it does almost nothing to prevent the dangerous muscle loss called sarcopenia that robs seniors of independence. According to research from the CDC and American College of Sports Medicine, seniors over 80 who prioritize strength training at least twice weekly maintain muscle mass, bone density, balance, and independence far better than those doing only cardiovascular exercise. Their comprehensive analysis of exercise patterns in over 10,000 seniors showed that those incorporating resistance training had 40% fewer falls, significantly stronger bones, and maintained their ability to perform daily tasks like carrying groceries, climbing stairs, and getting up from chairs without assistance. After age 50, you lose approximately 1 to 2% of your muscle mass every year if you don't actively work to maintain it. And this loss accelerates after 80. Kenneth, an 82-year-old from Colorado, walked religiously every single day for years, but continued losing muscle strength and found himself struggling with simple tasks. When he added just 2 20-minute sessions of resistance exercises using light weights each week, within 3 months, he regained his ability to carry his own groceries, climb stairs without using the handrail, and get up from low chairs without pushing off with his hands. Cardio alone cannot prevent the dangerous muscle loss that leads to falls, fractures, loss of independence, and eventual need for assisted living because it doesn't create the specific stress that tells your body to maintain muscle tissue. Add 2 20-minute sessions of simple resistance exercises weekly using light dumbbells, resistance bands, or even bodyweight movements like chair squats and wall push-ups. You don't need a gym membership or complicated equipment. Simple exercises done consistently with proper form are incredibly effective at maintaining the muscle that keeps you independent. Focus on major muscle groups including legs, back, chest, and arms. Even 1 or 2 sets of 10 to 12 repetitions of basic movements creates the signal your body needs to maintain muscle. If you've never done strength training, consider 1 or 2 sessions with a physical therapist or certified trainer who specializes in seniors to learn proper form and avoid injury. Your independence depends on strong muscles, so start these exercises this week. The difference between maintaining independence and requiring assistance often comes down to whether you have the strength to perform basic daily tasks safely. Habit 6. Eat full-fat dairy instead of low-fat. The low-fat dairy you've been buying for years might be increasing your diabetes risk and leaving you constantly hungry. The war on fat that began in the 1980s was based on flawed science that has since been thoroughly debunked. Yet low-fat products still dominate grocery store shelves and medical advice. When manufacturers remove fat from dairy products, they often add sugar and artificial ingredients to improve taste and texture, creating products that spike your blood sugar and leave you unsatisfied. Studies published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition and extensive research from Harvard show that seniors consuming full-fat dairy have lower rates of diabetes, better absorption of fat-soluble vitamins, including A, D, E, and K, improved satiety that prevents overeating, and even healthier body weight compared to those eating low-fat versions. The research tracked over 18,000 middle-aged and older adults for more than a decade and found consistently better health outcomes among full-fat dairy consumers. The natural fats in dairy help your body absorb crucial nutrients, keep you feeling full and satisfied, and don't cause the blood sugar spikes that lead to energy crashes and cravings. Joyce, an 80-year-old from Texas, constantly felt hungry after eating low-fat yogurt for breakfast and found herself snacking constantly throughout the morning. She gained 15 pounds over 2 years, despite thinking she was making healthy choices. When her nutritionist suggested switching to full-fat plain yogurt with fresh berries, she stayed satisfied until lunch, naturally stopped the constant snacking, and lost 12 pounds over 6 months without feeling deprived. Low-fat dairy products often contain added sugars that spike insulin and promote fat storage, provide less satiety which leads to overeating throughout the day, reduce absorption of fat-soluble vitamins that are crucial for bone health and immune function, and often contain artificial ingredients to compensate for the removed fat. Switch to full-fat versions of milk, yogurt, and cheese, starting with your next grocery trip, because the natural fats keep you full longer and help your body absorb essential nutrients. Choose plain full-fat yogurt and add your own fresh fruit instead of buying pre-sweetened varieties loaded with sugar. Enjoy real butter instead of margarine filled with processed oils. Select full-fat cheese that satisfies you with smaller portions instead of low-fat versions that leave you wanting more. This doesn't mean consuming excessive amounts, but it means choosing quality, full-fat options in reasonable portions rather than processed low-fat alternatives that work against your health goals. Make this switch on your next grocery trip and feel the difference in your hunger levels and energy within days. The satisfaction and nutritional benefits of real, full-fat dairy can transform how you feel throughout the day. These 6 habits prove that staying healthy after 80 isn't about following every outdated rule handed down from previous decades. It's about listening to current science, understanding how your body has changed with age, and having the courage to question advice that might have made sense at 50 but doesn't serve you at 80. From adjusting your salt and water intake based on your actual needs to getting smart sun exposure that strengthens your bones and lifts your mood, skipping forced breakfast when you're not hungry, prioritizing strength training that maintains your independence, and enjoying full-fat dairy that actually satisfies you. Each of these habits defies conventional advice, but delivers real results backed by leading medical institutions. You have the power to feel stronger, healthier, and more energetic right now by implementing even one of these habits today, because your age doesn't limit you, but outdated advice certainly does. Which of these 6 habits surprised you the most? Leave a comment telling me which one you're going to try first, because I read every single comment and love hearing about your experiences and results. If this video opened your eyes to new possibilities for staying healthy after 80, hit that like button and share it with friends who need to hear this truth about breaking the right rules for better health. Subscribe so you never miss science-backed advice that actually works for seniors instead of generic guidelines that don't account for your specific needs at this stage of life. Together, we're proving that breaking the right rules based on solid research can lead to the healthiest, most independent, and most energetic years of your life.